Hi, I'm Felicia.
And I'm Giancarlo.
And this is our preview
of Flick Wars.
La guerre des flics.
In Flick Wars, players are controlling a futuristic army trying to dominate planet Shangri-La for its resource called Flick. In the box you'll get 4 base styles, one for each of the players, army units for each of the armies. You'll find tanks, flyers, and infantry. A bonus tile to use as terrain, capture the flag token, or any house rule you can think of. 4 decks of cards which has your unit stats on them. Money tokens used to buy units on your turn. A range ruler to measure range. And turn summary cards for each player. First player to remove all units from their opponent wins.
Here's how to set up. Choose a playing area. It can be a table, a floor, or a playmat. Now each player chooses a location in front of them to place their base. Try to make it even between all players. You can choose to play with terrain and modify the battlefield as you wish. Once the playing area is set up, each player chooses an army. They are different in their abilities and style of play. For example, the blue army has lots of flyers while the red army is mostly grounded. Now each player receives 30 unim, which is money. And for each type of unit in their army, they will choose 1 card. For the first game, you play with the basic units. Then you can move on to the advanced units. Each player now spends money to buy 2 units and places it 1 range away from their bases. The cost of these units is written on their card. You're now ready to start flicking.
On your turn, you have 2 major actions. You can do an activation or a reposition action. If you decide to activate, you choose one of your units and you can use its numbers of flicks to do actions with it. So for this unit, for example, he has 1 flick plus another flick if he starts close to a friendly unit. Each flick can be a move flick or an attack flick. You must declare which one you are going to do before you flick. So for this example, I will use 1 flick to move, and then I want to use my second flick to attack. To check if you can attack, use the range ruler and see if the enemy unit is within range. If it is, then you do an attack flick with the leftover flick. When you hit an enemy unit, then they are turned over and create obstacles. If a unit ever goes out of the playing area, your opponent gets to replace it back into the playing area at the end of the turn. He can place it anywhere he wants, so do be careful and try staying inside the borders. Once you've used up all your flicks for that unit, your turn ends.
If you decide to do the reposition action, you can take a move flick with one of your units. However, that unit does not have special abilities during this move. During this action, you can also buy a unit and place it 1 range away from your base. If you want to, you can pay 1 unim per extra action you want to take. Once you've done one of these 2 actions, your turn ends. Play until you remove all your units from your opponent to win control of the flick on Shangri-La. The game comes with rules to play 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3. It is a game that is open to house rules and scenarios. The game is on Kickstarter now and you should go check it out. It's a light war gaming / flicking game with lots of potential for expansions. We will post the link to the Kickstarter in the description of this video. Thank you for watching, and remember, if you want to help a Kickstarter get some extra pledges or visibility, let them know about Board to Death TV.